Okay, so I've done some user interface updates and kind of dressed everything up. So after doing that, I realized the last video I made, the app's way too expansive to do all at once. So I'm going to do a series of what everything does and how it kind of works. Um, and hopefully that'll give you a better idea without boring you with a 45-minute long video that still doesn't touch everything. So this video here, we're going to basically go through what this looks like on a tablet, and it'll look similar on a desktop or cell phone. We're going to go through the plan mega dashboard. But first, we're going to take a basic look at the main dashboard so you can kind of understand where to navigate. You'll notice on the main dashboard you have your weather. This is for a golf course that I hold a contract for. It'll say overcast up here in the top right corner. Everything's live. Gives me my soil temps, ET, all that stuff. And then here's the stress forecast. So this is a proprietary system. I call it an SSI. It's surface stress indicators. Then there's a disease risk curve built in there. This is just for a glance. This doesn't tell you it's going to happen. It's just telling you the conditions are favorable. This also, for the stress index, will take into account any mechanical work you're doing on your surfaces that day. And then this is just your growth potential. This is something else I did, this proprietary. So we're going to scroll back up and we're going to look at the live radar real quick. So if you want to do a quick function, you can hit live radar. It'll pull it up. You got that. Your current conditions, 14-day forecast. Pretty basic. So we're going to go back to the main dashboard, and as I said, we're going to just concentrate on the plan. So in your plans, this is very greens focused. There's going to be a lot of things you're not going to see anything on right now because I don't have active growth yet, so I haven't taken any measurements. My greens are starting to come out of dormancy a little bit, so I'll probably update this later when there's more information stuff, live information and data you can see. So there are things that you're not going to be able to use here, or you're not going to be able to see working, but those are simply places that are collected data from certain data points and then put here for easy viewing. Now you'll notice here at the top there's a bar and it says decision support. This also scrolls all the way to the right. So first things first, we're going to go to the decision support, and this is where the forecast GDD planner comes into play. You see my three main grasses that are on my golf course there. I can switch between them. There's not going to be a huge difference because bent grass and fescue and all them, they all have pretty similar, they're cool season grasses. So this is going to have recommended action windows. It's going to tell you, hey, you're going to not bother your grass by doing this day. It's going to give you a good stretch. Again, it's not telling you what to do. It's just going to help you identify good windows. So the reason why you're going to see the grayed out one is the 14-day forecast obviously isn't as accurate as your 7-day. It's just kind of how weather works. So we're scroll down here. It's going to talk about herbicide application windows. Based on my soil temperatures and weather, things have already happened. Pre-emergent, we're too late on for fall, obviously. But pre-emergent for crabgrass is approaching. Soil temperatures right now are right there. I mean, to be honest with you, I probably won't treat for pre-emergent just because we've had germination and then it got cold again, and yeah. But it's just going to give you a good idea what you're looking at. So here you can plan a spray. So if I'm, let's see here, I have, let's say, I want to do, let's just say, I've got a bunch of weeds on here. We'll just do POA. It's easy. We're going to do it on my greens. My objective is curative. I'm going to select my planned date. We are going to say, I'm not doing this, but I'm just showing you how it works. April 2nd, continue and get the weather data. It's not going to, again, tell you what to use. It's going to tell you the confidence score. Confidence score is pretty low, but let's go to change the date, which I know Thursday is supposed to be 90, so we'll go with the day before when it's supposed to be 85. We'll get weather and try this. And we'll just take the higher score. Some of this is still getting worked out. It's not going to block you from using anything. It's simply going to give you data on probably could be better, circumstances to do this in. So it's taking into account your average wind speeds and your average gust. That's why it's saying use caution. Now, my spray window date, I can log the application. I can see a compliance sheet. I can fill it all out right here. It's all pre-filled out with your temperature, your wind direction, humidity, all that stuff you can fill out. It's pretty simple, and you can save the compliance sheet. Also, you see create task. You can create that task so your applicator or your spray tech can do that for you, or another crew member, or you can log the application that you're doing. You're doing it yourself. So back to the top, we're going to do the smart schedule. This here is just a quick guideline based on your weather information, what mechanical things you can do, along with spray windows. It's going to go through here. Green is good, obviously. We've got some places where we're in good shape. And over here on the right side, it's going to say our best windows this week are verticutting, mowing, aeration, fertilization, rolling, sprays, a little lower, top dressing. The idea is the higher the confidence, the greener the score. So the next one that gets kind of fun is nutrition. So most people, they build the plan out on spreadsheets or write it down on paper or guess, whatever it may be. Some of you send in and get soil samples like me, but you can select your species. Mine's pre-selected because I have creeping bent grass. You can select your management goal. For me, I have some targeted recovery areas, so we're going to do here. We'll do establishment because I want to do some things, or I can do maintain. I want to hold firm, or I can push them. I can drive. This will help plan it. So I'm one guy with a couple helpers. I can choose how many times I can spray a week. Twice, once, twice, whatever. And then I can select down here support products. So if I want to do, surfactant, PGRs, whatever it is, I'm not going to do plant growth regulators. I don't need iron this year. Let's go. It's going to tell me to select my fertilizers, so I can also do a custom. So if I want to say, hey, this is what it is, do cost per unit, blah, blah, blah. But I can select, let's just say, and we're going to go add the surfactants, all this stuff. We're just going to skip ahead. Current conditions. This is just going to give you an idea. I'm going to do 65 for high, 45 for low. Night temperature is going to be 52. 3.5. I'm filling in just random. The stress phase is normal. I can also activate moisture stress. We get into the time of year where it's humid and it's hot, and leaf wetness becomes a problem. We can add that in there and it'll pay attention to that. But you'll notice whenever I toggle it on, I get an added step. You get a potassium roll during heat drought. It's just giving you guidance. This isn't telling you what to do, how to do it, it's just giving you guidance. Hit next. My weekly targets right here, how much I'm going to give based on what I want. Then again, it gives me guidance. Do view spray bundles. You can log those, you can start a new plan, you can create tasks, all that stuff. So you can do an active plan. After you build that, it'll pivot if your weather takes a crap on you. Your application history will show up in here, your year-to-date tracking, all that stuff. Some of these things, like I said, I haven't really gotten to use them a whole lot so far this spring because, well, my weather's been insane. I went from 2 inches of snow on the greens to 80 degrees that afternoon. It's been wild. So surface planner, I can do speed predictions based on, the inputs, but there's a lot of inputs you're going to get from your crew. You can go out and do stemp, clegg testing, all that stuff, and digest all that, and you can actually predict your green speed based on your conditions, moisture, EC, all that stuff. You can also do event prep mode, and that'll help you prepare for tournaments, stuff like that. So the simulator is a big thing. So if I want to say, hey, I've got a window where I might want to, I want to do aeration. I want to make sure that the juice is worth the squeeze. You can come in here and you can test it without having to go out there and really put it to the plant, so to speak. So it'll give you an idea of what it costs in inventory, blah, blah, blah. These are just generic numbers because that's what's in there. The sequence builder, you can do the same thing, but you can get really big on stuff. So if you want to do a complete aeration 2-day event with top dressing, you can go through, plan down to the dollar bill, the penny, that it's going to cost you. You can say I have 8 guys, it's going to work 8 hours, blah, blah, blah. The labor rates, all that stuff, the weekly budget, and you can fix it in there. So the playbook's another one. So you'll know here, it's going to say my playbook here, dollar spot, pressure's going to start for me in May. In June, I'm going to have some issues here, blight risk. October, snow mold prep. Some of this stuff here is where you start. So for me, my green standards, I want my volumetric water content to be no less than 16%, no more than 20. Those are my standards. Pretty difficult to manage, but those are my standards. I don't want my green speed to get above 11.5, which they probably will at some point, but I don't want them below 10. The firmness, I don't have a clegg machine, but if you put it in there as 80 to 110, if your green speed is anywhere from like 9.5 to 12.5, it should fall within the clegg range. My green standards, I'd like to mow 6 times a week, but I can change that. Let's say I want to mow 5 times a week. I want to roll 3 times a week, or let's say I want to roll twice. 3 times, doesn't matter. We'll use 3 times. In top dress cadence, I'm going to do a light and frequent every 21 days. That'll probably get bumped to 14 based off of what I got from my soil samples. Tee standards, fairway standards, kind of a simple thing. You can do those. Compliance-wise, this is going to help me figure out if I'm sticking to my standards. I mean, that's the way it works. It's nice because we oftentimes will get away from what we want for the sake of speed and sanity. This is going to ensure that you're sticking to your plan. And if you're not sticking to your plan and you're not getting the results you wanted, it's pretty obvious that it's your fault. So this is just kind of an accountability thing for yourself. You know, we're behind schedule on top dressing. Well, that's my fault. Well, it's weather's fault, but that doesn't matter. Reality check. It's going to tell me I'm stretched based on what I want. I don't have a lot of people to help me. So I'm going to be stretched. It's not telling me it's impossible. It's just telling me that I'm going to have to be pretty close to perfect to obtain those goals. So the next thing, this is really probably where I should have started you. For me, I am in the transition zone. I'm in hardness area, or zone 7B, 1100 feet, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put this down. It's going to give me, next thing, I'm going to put my water in. I only know my pH. I'm still waiting for water test results. For my greens, they're sand-based. Put all this stuff in my soil test. All my soil test is in here. You can do the same for tees. They're native soil. You know, I haven't done a soil test on those yet. Same for fairways. Irrigation, you know, greens and tees only. Half-inch application an hour. I don't have single head control, right? This may not seem like much, but this program uses this to help you build plans. So for tournaments, I can add events. The big thing is I can do, you know, priority is just a standard run-of-the-mill, you know, little tournament. It's a major deal or it's a championship deal, and you can build your plans around this. If it's a championship thing that's going to take a week and a half to get ready for, you want to make sure you do it step by step. This is an easy way to do it and still maintain a day-to-day operation. So your cultural practice library. So we don't really do a good job of keeping real intelligence or data long term. A lot of guys will document what they did, but that information is just in a notebook or it's on a spreadsheet and it just kind of hangs out. With the practice library, we can capture something we did different. We can capture the results, how we felt about it, and how it turned out, and it'll save this. And it becomes, this whole thing is a big closed data loop. And so this system will start to learn your course piece by piece. And how that helps you is, rather than trying to scratch your head and remember, man, what did I do last time, or going back through your notes for 30 minutes, it catches something. It'll let you know, hey, the last time this came about, you did this and the results were positive. The big thing too is as it catches these things, it'll also help you detect where these problems come from and when. So if you have a certain green every year where moisture management becomes an issue and venting has helped, it's going to tell you that. And on to the next thing, the calculators. So these are just quick tools to use. You can do a spray calculator. Here, I'll do my greens. Let's do my tank size. It's pretty simple. I mean, I'm going to do, and you can add your herbicides. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. You can custom product. You know, I don't have everything, but I've got quite a bit in here. The library will get bigger at some point. You can change your rate. We'll just call it, I'm just putting in a random number here. This is more or less to show you how it works. I tapped a button I didn't mean to. I'll just use it, and then I don't need a fertilizer. We'll just do it just because. Hit calculate. It's going to tell me I need to change my units. I understand this is a granular product, but it's just going to give you an idea. It's going to tell me total area. It's going to tell me how many gallons. Now if I go up here, this will give you a little better idea. So I mean, it just tells you it's quick, it's fast. Aerification, you know, top dressing calculator. If your core length is, say the core length is 1.25 inches, my forward spacing, we'll just go with 1.5 by 1.5. We're doing my greens. It's going to tell me I need 11 tons of sand. If I tighten this up to 1 by 2.5, no. You know, it's a quick handy thing. Grass seed calculator, surface area impact, same thing. So ideally I like to be somewhere 16-20%. You don't have to be, but let's just use this generic one. It's going to tell me that aerification is going to give me close to 5% impact, so I would need to do something similar to that 4 times this year in terms of disruption to get to my 20%. This growth potential tracker, it's just telling me that it's just a simple thing to tell you, hey, systems are probably not quite ready for the grass to do anything productive. So that is the plans mega dashboard.